move. Whatever hand you hit, you move to that side. Left hook, boom! You gotta think of throwing punches. Your job is to throw punches.
Dog with sheep, it will become a sheep.
Anthony Joshua is reportedly working with Mike Tyson as he prepares for his upcoming fight against Jake Paul. Joshua has been studying old-school methods used by Tyson's legendary trainers to sharpen his technique, and his camp is centered on strategy, speed, and explosive power. The current focus is on tactical planning, conditioning, and precision, ensuring Joshua enters the ring fully prepared and operating.
Doing it in the gym, coming forward, punching to the body with his...
Anthony Joshua revealed how heavily Mike Tyson has influenced him, especially in power training and discipline. AJ has now incorporated Tyson-style neck and shoulder routines into his daily regimen. These exercises boost stability, strength, and punching force, proving how studying great fighters...
Another neck exercise that I got from Mike Tyson. A lot of wrestlers do this. Quite dangerous actually. Physios don't like this type of stuff, but it's good for neck conditioning. It's called neck bridges. And it's flexibility and strength at the same time. So it's a really good exercise if you...
Mike Tyson offered clear guidance to Anthony Joshua, praising him as a world-class athlete. Tyson stressed that staying active is the key to continual improvement, explaining that consistent fighting sharpens instincts.
Would you give to somebody like AJ?
That he has a lot of talent and not to get discouraged. He only loses when he quits. When you quit, all the doors of opportunities close. You know what I mean? You just got to be, game, and then don't get discouraged if you lose. Listen, you just lost, you may have got $30 million. I just think the more time you lay off, the worse you get. You have to fight to be the best, you have to do it.
Anthony Joshua is deep in an intense training camp, adopting elements from Mike Tyson's style. His regimen includes specialized neck rolls and strength drills to increase durability and power, while emphasizing conditioning, speed, and technical refinement. Each workout is designed to boost his impact, agility, and endurance, showing Joshua's full commitment to evolution.
Whoa, my physio's looking at me like, what the fuck? I can see you looking at me like, fuck, please don't fuck me. Hey, if it goes, at least you're here anyway. You know, 43,000 tuned in. Oh, mate. I know I started this shit.
Just do you want to set up the physio table, put the flats on it?
Anything.
Get back up there.
I'm easy, boss.
Eat.
Showtime sent me a lovely picture of me, the dog.
Eddie Hearn has been firm in his belief that Anthony Joshua would defeat Jake Paul if the fight happens. He notes that although Paul isn't considered a top-tier boxer, fans should avoid assuming Joshua's victory would be effortless. Hearn highlights Joshua's proven ability to beat elite opponents like Francis Ngannou, showing his success comes from preparation, discipline, power, and strategy, not from facing overmatched fighters.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, 50-50 fight. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I just said in another interview, great if it is. I mean, if it is, then you've got no problem seeing it. But when AJ, I mean, decapitates a strong word, but you know, when he renders Jake Paul unconscious like he did to Francis Ngannou, don't then say, oh well, it was Jake Paul. Do you know what I mean? I mean, when AJ beat Francis Ngannou, Ngannou just had a fight that could have gone either way with Tyson Fury. Then AJ poleaxed him and everyone just said he's just an MMA fighter. Do you know what I mean? Jake Paul's not Francis Ngannou. But, as I said before, if you want to see Jake Paul exit the boxing world...
Nigel Benn has voiced concern about the growing trend of entertainment-driven fights in boxing. He argues that when influencers enter the sport, traditional fighters, who dedicate their lives to mastering their craft, often miss out on the financial rewards they deserve. Ben points out that crossover fights attract massive attention and huge purses, which can overshadow and undermine the careers of hard-working professionals who compete at high levels for far less money.
Bit of rumours around today, Anthony Joshua And
Oh,
Jake
no. I'm not even really entertaining that. It's just not. Being a two-time heavyweight champion of the world, it's I don't know, YouTubers. I'm not really into all them influencers coming in there, and there's like some boxers that really work their butt off, don't get paid like what these guys are getting. And Anthony Joshua being a former world champion, should be fighting like someone in the top 5, top 10. So I ain't really got much time to talk about that. Not interested, really.
Bad for boxing?
Well, not bad for boxing. If people want to pay to watch it, then who am I? I'm just giving you my opinion. Who's not worked his way through the ranks to earn that shot at the former world champion? No, not at all.
Australian boxing. Who are you a fan of? It's got good fighters out there.
Jai's my type of fighter. He's very spiteful, and it's just another level, really. I don't think there's no better cruiserweight around.
Adola breaks down the financial logic behind an Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight. From his perspective, it would be unwise for Joshua to walk away from a payday that could reach $100 million. For Joshua, the risk is minimal compared to the reward, making it a rare low-risk, high-return event. Oladipo argues that given Paul's limited experience, Joshua can secure a major financial gain while facing a manageable challenge.
If someone knocks on your door and says, "Do you want to fight Jake Paul for $100 million?" you're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that $100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Like, well, why are you going to turn down $100 million? AJ should and could, more should, knock out Jake Paul in a round. Like, if Jake Paul was over here fighting under our British Boxing Board of Control, I don't think it would be a Southern Area cruiserweight champion. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world that I still believe is a top 10 heavyweight in the world. Like, AJ should be able to destroy him. AJ is going to be 60 pounds or so bigger than him. AJ hits like a truck. AJ is a better boxer. Like, this is...
A large segment of boxing fans has strongly criticized the idea of Anthony Joshua fighting Jake Paul. Many argue that the matchup undermines the sport, pairing a former unified heavyweight champion with a social media personality lacking traditional boxing experience. Fans also worry this could derail Joshua's chances of securing a legitimate showdown with Tyson Fury. Across social media, the sentiment is clear. Many feel this fight prioritizes money over the sport's competitive integrity.
Anthony Joshua gets in the ring with YouTuber Jake Paul, and that's what he is, YouTuber Jake Paul. Would you watch it? Simon, before we take some calls, with this seemingly in the pipeline, can we safely say goodbye to Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury?
Well, I think it's done anyway, judging by the mood music that seems to be coming out from various camps. If you listen to Tyson Fury, he seems to be, despite the fact we've danced this dance before and walked this walk before, he seems to be talking in a very different way. There's no hyperbole. I'm done. This is a younger man's game. I've done my bit. I'm at peace with where I am in life. I don't need boxing anymore. But not in the flash for cash way that Tyson often does it. In a more earnest way is my understanding of his sort of thought processes. So with that in mind, it almost feels that that's off the table anyway. Who knows? The draw of the enormous amounts of money that this one fight can generate. This is the one fight that can really get everybody paid. I mean, the two protagonists. Whatever Usyk takes, tragically for him, he wouldn't even get anywhere near as much money as potentially being offered for the Fury-Joshua fight.
What would earn AJ more of a pay packet? Fighting Fury or fighting Jake Paul?
Well, I would think tragically fighting Jake Paul.
God, what is that?
Because the revenues, because it's a Gen Z TikTok generation that wants to watch sport in a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's nothing critical of them. It's just the way that it is. And that's the circumstances of social media and the platforms that people like Jake Paul are able to cross over. It's not a case of people in the mainstream should be dinosaurs. The digital world and those opportunities and those platforms are marvelous places. And you heard me talking about Mark Goldbridge the other day and the commercial deal that he did with the Bundesliga. And we can be sniffy about their level of content, or we can accept that there is a place for everybody. It's interesting that still the digital world and that sort of
Analysts note that Jake Paul stepping in against Anthony Joshua marks a major jump in opposition level. Unlike the older or semi-retired fighters Paul has previously faced, Joshua is an active world-class heavyweight who has battled elite contenders. This shift forces Paul to overhaul his training, strategy, and mindset. While he remains a heavy underdog, analysts view this matchup as his most serious test and a chance to prove genuine progression.
Maybe even bigger than the Mike Tyson fight. It's hard to say really. Tyson was a big name, but it's going to do numbers regardless because Joshua is a big name and then people are going to be tuning in to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Right now, Eddie Hearn talks about Jake Paul taking this Joshua fight.
I mean, my estimations of Jake Paul would go through the roof if he signed to fight Anthony Joshua, because I just can't believe in my mind that he would do something like that. I mean, Gervonta was a smart one because of his size. Like, you know, I think actually he would have had a lot of success against Jake Paul, but the size is a problem. But this would just be, you know, like if Jake Paul was to take the fight with AJ, you'd really have to maybe carry his balls in a wheelbarrow on the ring walk, you know, because AJ wouldn't mess around in there, you know. So it would be huge, but nothing to tell you it's close, just a few conversations so far.
Damn right, if Jake Paul takes this fight, he's got some major balls on him. And I know people hate influencer boxing, but come on, he's not fighting an old, retired, past the prime MMA fighter. No, he's fighting a legit boxer who's massive, 6'5", 6'6", jacked, 240, 250 pounds, shredded, power puncher. Do we need to remind ourselves of what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? Francis Ngannou was coming off a pretty good performance over Tyson Fury. He didn't get the win in that fight, but you could argue that he did actually win that fight. And Ngannou, throughout his entire MMA career, in 4-ounce gloves, very rarely got hit. He could take a punch. He's got a big, fat African head. Big, thick neck, traps, back. He just can't really be hit. And look what Joshua...
Shane McGuigan has expressed serious doubt about whether Joshua versus Paul will actually take place. He considers the idea farcical and questions the logistics required to make it happen. McGuigan notes that while the media buzz is real, contract complications, promotional issues, and reputational risks could all block the matchup. He argues that from a sporting perspective, this fight does little to help Joshua's competitive status, echoing the concerns of many within the boxing world.
So, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul reports. What do you make of it? And if we were to see AJ step in with Jake Paul?
I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, I think it's farcical. I don't see how it's going to materialise. I didn't think the tank fight would materialise, and it didn't. And you know, it's all good saying that you're going to box somebody, and then but until literally they're on the ring walk and in the ring, and I'm not going to believe it.
Away from AJ, what do you make of the Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. fight next week?
It's an interesting fight. Haney's up at 147. He looks good. He looks physically good. It's mad to think he's only 26 years of age. Confident-wise, I don't know what that Garcia fight took out of him. Because yes, he tested positive afterwards, but I believe that his Achilles heel is punch resistance, and I think it'll be interesting. I don't know enough about Norman, but I think definitely test him, and maybe Devin Haney will hold a better shot now. He's up at 147. But yeah, it's an exciting matchup. I think it's a.
Analysts have observed a shift in how Jake Paul is viewed within the sport. Once dismissed as merely an entertainer, he is now gaining recognition as a committed boxer due to the increasing difficulty of his opponents. This shift has influenced fans, trainers, and commentators, earning him a new degree of respect. Analysts emphasize this doesn't place Paul anywhere near elite fighters like Joshua, but it does mark notable progress.
I feel like the one that I was mostly from you was the Anderson Silva one. Where Anderson Silva had like one sick round where he's like, whoop, whoop, doing it what Anderson Silva does and missing everything and cracks him and whatever. And then he just like the next few rounds, he's back to like just getting his butt kicked by Jake Paul and walking around, doesn't look the same. Yeah. But again, I don't think these guys are actually getting dropped to like faking. I think Jake Paul actually has that kind of power. I just feel like they kind of know the deal.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I make a lot of money. You make a lot of money, not as much money as me, but you make more money than you ever would. So you take it. You know, it is what it is. But I don't know. Kind of sucks to see all these legends, right? Like of the sport. Like you don't want to see that. You don't want to see this guy is losing to freaking Jake Paul.
I will say I loved everything about the Tyson fight in the lead up, and then as I'm actually watching it, I'm like, all right, this is actually fucked up. My bad.
Yeah, it's like senior.
Even when he turns around, on
People are beginning to take Jake Paul more seriously as he continues to train rigorously, study techniques, and accept increasingly demanding challenges. This shift affects his career trajectory, opening the door to higher-level opponents and bigger events. Analysts note that while Paul remains a work in progress, the growing respect he receives represents a turning point in how crossover athletes are evaluated within the boxing community.